Maharashtra will go plastic-free from June 23rd. There will be a ban on single-use plastic items such as plastic carry bags, cutlery and decorative thermocol items. To educate people on what other alternatives are there for plastic, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation has arranged an exhibition here in Mumbai from June 22nd to 24th where there are alternatives on display. As we can see, the alternatives to plastic are cotton, jute, wood and other such items which are on display here at the exhibition. BMC has also appointed a team of 249 people who would start enforcing this ban from June 23rd. If found guilty, there is a fine structure. The fine for the first offence is Rs 5,000. If found guilty for the second time, it is 10,000. And if found guilty for the third time, there's a fine of 25,000 and an imprisonment of up to 3 months. Now remember, Maharashtra had come out with a ban on plastic in March, on 23rd of the March. But however, the court has given 3 months time for citizens to switch to alternatives. BMC claims that it has in 3 months collected up to 1,42,000 kg of plastic. Now it remains to be seen how this ban will be enforced, considering the fine is quite hefty. This initiative was taken by Yuva Sena Chief Aditya Thackeray, and this ban will be implemented from June 23rd.
Is there. All right, the plastic ban is clearly a step in the right direction, I suppose, but with many exemptions like water bottles and packaging material, how effective will this be in curbing pollution? T. Jayaraman, professor at the School of Habitat Studies from the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, now joins us. Mr. Jayaraman, thank you so much indeed for joining us today. My simple question to you is, the intent may be right, but will this be effective enough?
The question is what you mean by effective. It can certainly address part of the problem of plastic litter, and it will certainly grab hold of the lowest hanging fruit in terms of plastic waste. But there are two important ingredients which are required for a more sustainable solution, which I think not too much attention is being paid to. One is that this covers a very small portion of the total plastic use. It is the visible kind of use which is targeted, but already PET bottles have managed to get exemption, which is likely to last. Certain categories of packaging have also managed to evade the reach of the ban now. So it is basically left with single-use thermocol and the kind of thin plastic bags and single-use bags and single-use plastic cutlery, etc., which is common in the restaurant and food industry. That's a very limited thing. The other example, the better way to go, for which unfortunately in this country we never have the patience for, is the Japanese example. At the World Cup this year now in Russia, the Japanese fans actually clean up the stadium after the match is over. They take away all the plastic rubbish. This is done in all football stadiums in Japan. So the long-term solution is to combine the modification of end-use behavior and recycling. And of this, of course, there is no thought to this in this kind of proposals. And regrettably, the recycling industry, which is just sort of getting on its feet in this sector, a big part of it will be seriously hit by the ban.
Sir, I have one more question, and the point about recycling is well taken. Are there any examples of any other state in India, Japan aside, I mean, that's an international example, but any state in India that has actually enforced this ban and seen tangible results? And is the recycling industry, why is it hasn't gotten the fillip that it deserves?
Two things. I think there are a number of smaller municipalities in Kerala which are looking at this kind of ban, have implemented it. And I'm sure on a smaller scale they have got successful result. If not anything, they have widespread citizen support and so on. So, but then I haven't looked in great detail, and on this scale, there is nothing quite which is comparable. But the point about recycling is that, see, waste is both a problem and an opportunity. That's the whole point about sustainability and the talk of green economy, etc. So the way to go for the real long-term solution is to build a culture of segregation of waste, build a culture of correct end-user behavior, and combine it with recycling. So you have to think this through. This ban will be, this ban is positive. Nobody is saying plastic litter is a good thing, plastic litter is bad, and whatever you do to curb plastic recycling is a welcome thing to do. But this will be a one-shot affair. This is not a model for doing things which is replicable to other kinds of plastic, other kinds of waste, and on a larger scale.
Mr. Jayaraman, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Neil, for joining us with your views. That's Professor Jayaraman talking about the effectiveness of this ban. It's good, no doubt, but will it have the long-term results?